Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. If you just arrived here from the unboxing of the Spellbinders card kit of the month, welcome back. In case you are new, today I'm going to create a few projects using the Spellbinders card kit of the month for February 2023. This kit is called Spring Delight, and we're going to make some light and springy cards using, we're going to make 3 of them today using some items in our card kit. I already took out some items that we're going to be using, and I'm going to start off by taking one of my cardstock panels. Whenever I create cards, I kind of like to go with a color theme, and so I want to use the pink as my color theme today. I always like texture in my background, so I'm going to take 3 of these panels, and I'm going to be using the Spellbinders 3D Dimensional Diamonds embossing folder for my project today. Now, if you wanted to use the embossing folder of the month, you could use that. I don't think, I think any embossing folder would work for the card projects that I'm making today. I'm going to run all 3 panels through my die cutting machine, and then I'm also going to die cut out a few panels using the Spellbinders Create a Slimline border. I've used this quite often, and I love borders on my cards, especially for florally themes. I like to add a little delicate daintiness, I guess you could say, to my cards. And I'm going to be using, for the most part, this border die, and then on one of my cards I'll layer this polka dot strip on the left and the right. But I'm going to take this, die cut out a few panels with white cardstock here, and I'm going to do my embossing, and we're going to jump in with card number 1. I went ahead and embossed. I did 3 of these panels, but I wanted to show you what it looked like. I think the positive side or the negative side are equally just as beautiful. I just love this. I'm going to go ahead and take this panel and adhere it to my card base. The card bases that I'm using are in our kit this month. And I'm just going to, add adhesive to the side that has it looks like a lattice where the diamonds are raised on this side. We'll just add this is the Spellbinders new tape runner. And it's neat because these are actually it's not dotted. You just need a little bit. But they're little pieces of tape. And so far it's working out great. They actually have a bundle available at the shop that is that comes with this, I think 2 refills, and then 2 packages of foam squares, the large and the small. I'll link it down below. It's good value. And there's lots of adhesive in here. But I tacked this down, and I am going to use my paper trimmer and trim off the bottom of my card base. Because sometimes my panels are not exactly A2. So there is my background. This is what I created for my first card using Create a Slimline border. I put the border on one side and then put border on the other side. And it's about 3 1/4 inches wide. At least I think. Let me see. Yes, about 3 1/4 inches wide. I'm going to go ahead and take this panel and I'm going to tack it down to the front of my card base. Let me show you what I mean that these are strips. These are little strips of tape. Pretty cool. I'll take this and adhere it down the middle. And it looks like I need to trim a little bit off the bottom. After I have this adhered, I have some patterned paper. This is 2 1/4 inches wide. We're going to take this and adhere this down the center of our border piece. And then I have some overhanging here I'll just trim off. I just love how soft this looks. Okay, this is a 2 3/4 inch circle. And I cut this out using circle dies. And then I did create a circle using the Spellbinders. This is, they have the essential circles, but this is not the essential. This is the hem stitch. The dotted detail in here are almost like squares, and they're bigger. I don't know if they have these yet, but essential circles would work the same. I'll link them both down below, just in case they don't have this no more. But I'm going to take this, and I'm going to add this to my pattern paper. And then I'm going to flip this around. We're going to take some foam squares, and we're going to... Our kit does come with foam tape and foam squares. The foam squares that come in the kit are a little bit taller. I'd say almost double the width of the ones that I use. And I like a lot of dimension on my cards, and sometimes I'll even double it up. Like I'm adding foam tape here, I'm also going to add foam tape here. So if I did that with this foam tape, it would be really tall. So I bring in my own, and plus these to me are a little bit faster, and I won't run out because I use a lot of them. I'm going to put my alphabet circle right in the middle. Once this is adhered to the center, maybe I'll zoom in some. I thought we would make a coffee card. So I have some hearts from our die cut pack, and I also have both the coffee cups. I'm going to add a little adhesive to one side of these coffee cups, and I'm going to overlap them. And we will place this in the middle of our decorative circle. We have our little hearts. We're going to need some smaller foam squares. And I'm going to add, I have a blue, a green, and the pink. Okay, and then we need a sentiment. So I think we are going to use some of our stickers. Should we use some of our chipboard or our stickers? Maybe we'll use our chipboard. I'm going to take the thinking of you chipboard sticker here. And we're going to put it right across our coffee cups. Wonderful. And then last but not least, I do want to add a little bit of shine. So I'm going to use my glaze and glue. And then that will finish off card number 1. For my next card, I have my border that I created using the Creative Slimline border in white cardstock. This is the one that I used the dotted detail on. I think that looks really pretty. And then I have my background panel we created with our 3D embossing folder. I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to use the reverse side of this embossing folder. But this tape runner is awful quiet compared to my other one. I'm not used to it. Let's grab a card base. Make sure it opens the right way. And we will tack this down. So we have a little texture in our background. And then I created a frame using some square dies, and then trimmed down a panel of this pattern paper that will fit perfectly behind it. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to add some glue behind my frame. And then I have some more of the alphabet or the script paper that you practice your handwriting on. I don't know the... I used to love this paper when I was a kid. I would practice cursive so much. I'm going to go ahead and take my glue and attach this to this pattern paper. I think my girls use that kind of paper for calligraphy now. I'm going to attach this border. This is a very large, a long border. And I did it intentional only because I want to make sure that it's centered on my card base. I put lots of adhesive on it because I have texture here and I wanted it to adhere, really get to that embossed background. We'll trim away the excess. And for this panel, I'm going to bring in some pop-up foam sheets. Well, that's the first time that happened. Usually I have to trim it a few times to get it perfect. It's a good day. We're going to add some glue behind here. The nice thing about the pop-up foam sheets is since our paper is not that thick, our pattern paper, this is going to help give it stability. I'm going to add some glue behind here, and then we're going to tack this down on our card base. Now we have an umbrella. I thought this was so cute. I'm going to flip it around. We're going to put some foam tape behind here. We'll tack this down towards the bottom, and I'm putting it upside down. I thought we would fill this with some flowers. So I have some of our die cuts. But before we add those, I do want to tie a bow with some white twine. And my head hit the camera. Sorry. Wonderful. Now I have some little butterflies. I have 3 of them, and these are the white ones that are in our die cut pack. And I just thought this frog was so cute. I think we're going to put him on there just because I think he needs a home. So we're going to put him. I need to trim down a smaller piece here. And I think we're going to put, how about happiness and hugs? Yeah, I think that's going to work out great. I have happiness and hugs, but this is a very thin sticker. So I'm going to adhere this to some white cardstock. And I don't think I need a border. So I'm just going to stick this on some white cardstock, use my scissors. And we're just going to take this. I'm going to pop this up. Actually, I'm going to use my paper trimmer and trim it down just a little bit more. Wonderful. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to put some foam tape behind here. And then lastly, I'm going to bring in some of my diamond stickles, and I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to the flowers. Normally I'd add it to the butterfly wings, but I think my flowers needed a little extra sparkle. Wonderful. And I want to give my little frog a little bit of dimension, so we will add one of our onyx gems. These are perfect for that. Lovely. And that completes card number 2. Nice spring card. For my next card, we have tons of florals in our die cut pack, so I thought we would make a wreath with them. I'm going to take my background panel first, and I am going to trim this down a little bit. I want a little bit of a border on this card, so I'm going to trim it to, let's see, my circle will fit in here. Okay, I'm going to trim it to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and this is going to give me a little bit of a border on my card base. Let's go ahead and tack this down. Lovely. This one, the diamonds are prominent. Okay, and then I have a piece of this pattern paper, and I also trimmed down a strip using that same border die. I'm going to attach this to our pattern paper, and eventually I'm going to trim it down to 4 inches by, before we adhere this, I trimmed down a strip of that that alphabet paper. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to go ahead and put this, it's about a 1/4 inch strip. It's basically one set of the cursive letters here. Actually, they're not really cursive, but wonderful. After we have this done, we're going to create a wreath. A nice way to create a wreath is using a circle, or even creating a frame with it, but I wanted the inside of this to be white, so this is going to work out good. Now I'm going to use glue, and I'm just going to go to town adhering one row of flowers first, because the second layer I'm going to go ahead and pop up with some foam tape. And then we can add some smaller flowers. And then we have, there's a light green and a dark green leaf. We're going to add those too. You can see here. We'll do that last. Wonderful. I'm going to take this panel, and then we're going to adhere this, and I'm going to use my tape runner since we already have a lot of dimension. We'll tack this down. I also have, there's lots of little butterflies in our die cut pack, so I'm going to add some butterflies to our wreath too. And I'm just adding adhesive to the center, and then I can fluff up these wings here. Okay, I think there is plenty of fluttering going on, so I'm going to put these off to the side. Okay, and lastly we need a sentiment, so I think we're going to bring in our chipboard stickers. And I'm going to do a little layering. There is a chipboard circle that says adore. I'm going to put that in the middle, but I'm going to layer the white one down here that says hello spring right in the middle. Perfect spot for our sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take some twine. I'm going to add a bow. I'm going to double it up. Wonderful. And then I need a little bit of dimension in these flower centers, so I'm going to bring in my favorite. This is the Ivory Seashell Nouveau Crystal Drops, and I'm going to add a little dimension in the center of all of these flowers. Okay, and that will finish off my third project. I think that turned out really pretty and springy. So here's a look at all 3 cards we made with the Spellbinders card kit of the month for February 2023. And this month the kit is called Spring Delight. I hope this gives you some ideas. And you know, you could use any kind of border die too, I think, with these cards. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.